Hi everybody, welcome back to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling, my wife Sarah's here, and I had said earlier that we were going to stop down a lot throughout the year with charts from 1984 because we feel like it was an amazing year in music, of all types of music.
It absolutely was.
So I thought we'd do one of these. Now Sarah will be very happy because because we're only in January, I think all the songs on here are technically from 1983, but these are songs that were on the 1984 was just, I just remember you turn on the radio and like almost every song
Was a good one.
was a good song. And so this is the Canadian chart. We're looking back from this date in 1984. So there's going to be a little bit of Canadian that if you're watching from the US you might not know, but for the most part these are very recognizable songs. So this is a snapshot of what was on popular radio in Canada 40 years ago. And I'm going to let Sarah start off with number 50.
Yes. So I do want to say though that there may be some sounds in the background because
We have both of our dogs in here with us.
The office door is open, and because I just moved, adjusted my chair. They were both lying down, and now they're not.
Now they're stirred. So
yeah, so that's my fault.
Just
that's my bad. But once I do settle back down, you may hear some gentle snoring from Stella.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
It's one of our favorite sounds.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. So at number 50, new on the chart for this week was If I'd Been the One by 38 Special.
God, I love that song so much.
I was going to say, you would know it. I don't believe I do.
You might know it if you heard it, but big 38 Special fan. At number 49, now here's an example of a song that people might not know outside of Canada. This was a little-known band called Boys Brigade, and the song's called Melody. It's up one this week. Now,
Boys Brigade.
The little bit of trivia I know about Boys Brigade is that this album, I'm assuming it's their first album, it's self-titled, was actually produced by Geddy Lee. Now, they weren't a hard rock band by any stretch of the imagination. They were more of a pop band, but there you go. So that's number 49 this week.
At number 48, does that mean it was 49 last week?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, but it's 99 Red Balloons by Nina.
The English version, so maybe later in the year, the 99 Luftballons will be.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah,
maybe
and it's also interesting there's no album listed. So this might have been, I don't know, that's interesting. Huh. Obviously that went on to become a huge hit, so I don't think...
yeah, I mean...
Usually, yeah, when a song creeps up by one, it's not going to get much higher, but we all know that song, so... number 48 or 47, up from 48. This is a lesser known song. I have heard it. It's Chilliwack, and the song's called "Don't Stop." Now this song doesn't sound anything like. If you think of Chilliwack as like My Girl and Crazy Talk, and well, they had a lot of different sounds actually, but this one sounds very, very 80s. I remember hearing it on the radio and not knowing who it was and guessing everybody but Chilliwack until they announced it at the end. So.
Is it just 80s production?
80s production. It's got a saxophone solo in it.
Oh, that's how you know.
And I'm like, is this Robert? Is this Robert Palmer? No.
What are you doing?
So, there you go. Rufus is giving some love here. One of your favorites, honey. One of your favorites.
Oh, I wasn't going to comment upon that. People love him. Just because I don't. Number 46 is new this week in the charts was John Cougar Mellencamp, Pink Houses. And no, I don't particularly like this song.
I think this was...
I'm scarred for life because of all of the school dances.
Jack of Diane Hurt So Good.
I hate Hurt So Good.
Oh.
But again, I know people love it.
All right, let's move along. Now here's a song that I'm sure must have done better than number 45, even though it's only up by one. Of course, it's Billy Idol and Rebel Yell, or Rebel L, the Sesame Street version. Yeah, this is a really well-known song, although it only peaked at 46 on Billboard, which is weird because, again, we got to do a show on songs that didn't hit the top 40 that everybody knows, and that's got to be one of them. But
we probably should.
Yeah, and that's if
Who
Rebel
loved
Yell.
This song?
Yeah, and it was huge. Like, who doesn't? Anybody that would know White Wedding would know Rebel Yell. So I don't get it. They can picture the video,
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
All right, number 44.
Number 44, and it's new for this week. Wrapped Around Your Finger, The Police, which I love.
Yep. Now here's a song. I know the group. I don't know the song. Number 43 up to She's Trouble by Musical Youth. I only know Pass the Dutchie. So.
Oh, I was just going to ask you.
Yeah. That's their claim to fame is Pass the Dutchie, but I don't know She's Trouble.
Well, I know Pass the Dutchie, but I wouldn't have associated the name.
Now, next one's interesting.
So when I hear it, so it's number 42, Debbie Harry, Rush Rush. So the only Rush Rush I know is Paula Abdul.
And I thought for sure, oh, this must be the same song. It's not. No. I looked it up. I've looked it up several times. It's from the Scarface soundtrack, and it's written by Giorgio Moroder, the big soundtrack disco guy. I don't know what it sounds like. Obviously I know Debbie Harry is, but yeah, it's a totally different song than Paula Abdul, even though it's got a very specific title. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the Paula Abdul song is Rush, Rush. But I'm not sure.
You have more specific memory on that than I do. My main recollection of the Paula Abdul is because young Keanu Reeves was in the video.
Yeah, that's another chart, another time.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 41, some soap opera music.
I was just gonna say.
Christopher Cross and Think of Laura, which was played on General Hospital. Now, I don't think he wrote that in mind. I just think it ended up being.
Well, at the time, the soap operas, they were such a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And they would pick like a song and use it kind of as a theme.
Yeah. For
whomever the couple was, and that was.
Yeah.
Highly romanticized at the time. So
that was probably one of Christopher Cross's last major hits, by early 1984. I mean,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think like not just soap operas, but like the sitcoms that were on. When there were 150 channels out there, we were all basically watching the same shows. So.
Whereas now, that's
it's very fragmented, right? So yeah, okay.
Number 40, and it's stayed the same from last week. The Politics of Dancing, Reflex.
Yeah, I know this song. That's the only song I know from this group. But at number 39, I do not know this song. I know the group. The group is Toronto and Ready to Make Up. That is up 2 this week.
I was going to ask you if you knew that one, because I do not.
I don't think I know it. If I heard it, I might recognize it, but I don't think so.
Number 38, and that's up from 43. Middle of the Road, The Pretenders.
Yeah, I know.
I know you don't love The Pretenders.
I don't. I love this next song, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah. Now, this is a song that made the top 40 in Canada, and it did not in the States. Of course, it's Kiss and Lick It Up. It's down 1 this week to 37, their first non-makeup album.
Oh, okay. This is when they were without.
Yeah.
Number 36, new. So this is a high chart, right?
Yeah. It's
Paul McCartney, So Bad.
Yeah, it's a slow one.
I had to think about how it went.
Yeah, it's very slow.
I'm not going to sing it, but...
It's very high, so I can't even, this next one's interesting because it was not a top 40 hit in the States. Number 35 up from 38. It's ABC, and the song is called That Was Then, But This Is Now. This was not a big hit in the States, but in Canada it was, so that's interesting.
I don't know that one. I do know this one, though. But it's going down the charts, right?
Yeah, it was
probably number 28.
Yeah, it's probably way up there. It doesn't say where it peaked. It says
it does
18,
not, but it's been
18 on weeks in the chart.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. So at number 34, we've got Making Love Out of Nothing at All by Air Supply.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was from their greatest hits.
Yeah, it was a new song at the time. At number 33, this was a total novelty song, the Knuckleheads and the Curly Shuffle. It was about the Three Stooges.
I don't know that one.
No,
well, I know that, but I don't know the Curly Shuffle.
You do the Curly Shuffle. I vaguely remember it.
You're funny. Number 32, it was 27 last week.
Yeah.
I Won't Stand in Your Way, The Stray Cats.
Yeah. That one's, I kind of know it. It's like a 50s, doo-wop ballad type of song. Number 31, I know the artist, I don't know the song, Irene Cara. She's down 8 from 23 to 31 with Why Me? Don't recognize that. The album is called What a Feeling. I certainly you know,
We know.
I get that. But
Number 30, it had been on the charts for 19 weeks, so it was previously at 22 last week. Telephone, Long Distance Love Affair, Sheena Easton. So I do know that one.
at 29, this was a group that I think was, I don't know if they were, where they were from exactly. I think they were from the UK, but Jaluka. They were sort of a world music type of group. The song's called Scatterlings of Africa. I don't think this charted in the States as high. This is number 29 this week, up from 32.
I don't know that one either. Nor do I know this one. So at number 28, up one from last week, Read 'em and Weep, Barry Manilow.
It's actually a 11.
Is it?
Yeah, it's up from 39. Wow, that's
I guess
quite
I need my eyes
quite a
checked.
jump for a song we don't know.
Barry Manilow.
Manilow.
Okay.
All right, so at number 27, the second appearance, and one of my favorite songs from The Police. It's down from 21, Synchronicity 2.
So where would that one have peaked? Do you know?
Don't know.
It wouldn't have been
probably,
like a.
probably top 20 anyway.
I was gonna say
but,
I don't. It wasn't as big of a hit as some of the others.
certainly wasn't as big as like Every Breath
But
You
I
Take,
love it
but,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh look, second appearance by my favorite. At number 26, John Cougar Mellencamp, Crumbling Down. I think that you purposely gave me the even ones.
No, I
just so
didn't.
can
There's
say
plenty of songs that you
John
like that
Cougar Mellencamp.
you'll be hitting here. Number 25 down from 19. This was a fairly big song. Big Country with In a Big Country.
At number 24, Hall & Oates, Say It Isn't So. Do love this song.
Yeah, that was a new song from their Best of Rock and Soul Part 1. I think that one and Adult Education were new songs on that Greatest
So
Hits.
they had a greatest hits in 1984.
Oh, yeah.
83.
Yeah, they had enough to,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Well, but I guess so did Air Supply. Which
Yeah.
Similarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At number 23, oh, great song. Lionel Richie from Can't Slow Down, up to this week, Running with the Night.
So
This
good.
is
Lionel.
his version of a rock song, I guess. Great Steve Lukather guitar solo.
I was gonna say this is one of the ones
This
that I
is-
was listening to,
yeah.
and I was remarking on the guitar solo.
Yeah.
We enjoy Lionel in this house. Number 22, Spandau Ballet, True, and this is one of my favorite songs from the 80s.
Number 21, a song that had 2 lives. This is its first one. UB40 with Red Red Wine. It's up 9 this week, up to number 21. Now, when this charted in the States the first time, I think it peaked in the 30s, but it was, of course, reissued 5 years later and went all the way to number 1. And I guess it's third time around because it's a Neil Diamond song, although I don't even think I've ever heard his version of it. But
I'm sure I have, but I think at this point, like for our generation anyway, UB40s is probably
their
the one.
arrangement of it would, yeah.
for sure. Number 20, Huey Lewis and the News, Heart and Soul. And that one had been on the chart for 13 weeks, so it's on its way down.
Yeah, I think that was the first single from Sports, and there were like 4 or 5 more yet to come throughout 1984. So that was one of the big
I was
albums.
gonna say this was like
This was their breakthrough. Yeah,
the moment.
yeah. Number 19, classic. You know, he's a one-hit wonder, but he ended up being a very successful producer. Matthew Wilder, Break My Stride. That's up 10 from 29 up to 19. This was, I mean, this song was everywhere, and it's fun.
It's a great
and,
song.
I know, among other things, Matthew Wilder ended up producing No Doubt, so he stayed in the business after
Wow.
he stopped being a recording artist.
Okay, that's awesome. Number 18, Elton John. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Great song.
It is a great song. And that one's
Up from
Up from
26.
26.
Stevie Wonder on harmonica. Yeah. That was a bit of a comeback album for Elton John. That also had I'm Still Standing on it. Number 17, big jump for this one, from 31, The Romantics and Talking in Your Sleep.
I love this song. It's a great song. Number 16, Billy Joel, Uptown Girl. And that had been on the chart for 14 weeks, so it's on its way out as well.
Number 15, this is one of the many hits this band has, but you don't hear this one that much anymore. Culture Club and Church of the Poison Mind. It's down 10. It's a big drop from number 5 down to 15.
It had been on the charts though for 11 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a long time considering that it's not one that's played as much,
Yeah.
to your point. Number 14, That's All by Genesis.
Yeah.
And that's up 6.
Yeah. This is their first top 10 single, actually. They were really starting to hit big, and Phil Collins had already done a couple of solo albums, so it was almost getting into that Phil Collins saturation where every hour almost,
It's like you couldn't get away
you
from
heard
him.
a song that he was involved with in some way.
Pretty much, and that carried on until like
86,
probably what?
87, 88.
Later, I would
yeah.
say later because
Yeah,
I remember being tired of him
90,
in 89
yeah, yeah.
as a child.
Yeah. Number 13, up 1, another song from Spandau Ballet. This one's called Gold.
Is that the one, do you remember, it had a quirky video?
Yes. I think so.
It was soap or something weird in the video. I'm going to have to watch it later. I just remember it being very strange. I can't think of how the song goes, though. Interesting.
It's like gold. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Gold. That's all I remember.
Number 12. Tonight, I Celebrate My Love. It's Peebo Bryson and Roberta Flack.
Yeah, this is another big soap opera song, I believe.
Don't ask me which one.
But I think all of them. I think we've talked about that
Could
before.
be Days of Our Lives or something.
It could be. Number 11, in all honesty, this might be the first Rolling Stones song I ever heard.
I do not know this one.
Undercover of the Night? Oh, you'd know it if you heard it. Undercover. Undercover of the night. No?
Rufus thinks you're being silly.
Done up in lace, done up in rubber.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Paw to the face.
Something. This line I always remember in that song, something about dirty little G.I. Joes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically because we have a hyperactive dog. Whenever he thinks we're being silly,
Yeah.
he feels the
decides
need to join in.
Yeah.
So number 10, we're in the top 10 now.
Oh.
Islands in the Stream,
Kenny and
Kenny and
Dolly.
Dolly.
Yeah.
And it had been on the chart for 17 weeks.
Yeah, this was
Wow.
a huge crossover song. It hit
Yes, it was.
every chart. Oh, number 9. One of the all-time.
Peak Lionel.
Yeah, Peak Lionel. All night long, all night. We know another lyrical treatment of this song.
We sure do.
Yeah, we won't.
Jill might charge us for
Yeah. Copyright. Yeah.
copyright.
She did kind of pull a Weird Al.
She did. But that's what I hear.
Yeah.
And then number 8, Come On Feel the Noise, Quiet Riot.
They actually spelled it. They spelled noise correctly. It's supposed to be with a Z. Because it was, of course, nobody knew it at the time. It was a Slade song that was a big hit in the UK in the 70s, and most of Slade's songs were all deliberately spelled wrong. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Quirky.
Yeah. Number 7, of course, this is a standard. Karma Chameleon, Culture Club. 15 up to 7, so a pretty big jump this week.
Stop, Rufus. Oh, another favorite artist of mine. Number 6, Olivia Newton-John, Twist of Fate. Ow!
I'm trying to think how that one goes.
I have no idea.
Number 5, this was a huge comeback song and ended up being a number 1 song. Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart. That's up from 10.
What that song? Ooh, number 4, Love is a Battlefield, Pat Benatar. And it had been at number 2 the week prior. Fabulous song, fabulous video. Loved this as a young child.
Number 3 was number 1 the week before, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson with Say, 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 which I just recently found out was recorded before Thriller. I didn't know that. It was recorded in 1981, which is interesting.
Stop. Number 2, Union of the Stake, Duran Duran. So, I mean, I love this song. I didn't realize that it was like that top of a chart kind of.
Might have only been in
You're
Canada. It
pushing
might not have
limits.
gotten that far in the States. I don't know. But,
Oh, maybe.
We loved our Duran Duran in Canada.
Yes.
And number 1, now this is a song that I think peaked at 15 or 16 in the States, but it went all the way to number 1 in Canada. It's the German singer Peter Schilling. Now this was kind of a, I guess a follow-up to David Bowie's Space Oddity, but it's Major Tom Coming Home. It's the Earth below us, darling.
Rufus.
But that's number 1 in Canada, and Rufus is so excited. Rufus, look at the camera. Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
We love our big dummy Rufus.
Apparently it's bedtime.
Apparently it's bedtime. Listen, thanks, guys. We're going to be doing this throughout the year because 84 was such an amazing year, and we don't want to miss anything on its way up or down the chart if we can help it. So maybe next time we'll try a Billboard album chart or a Billboard singles chart. But either way, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Thanks for watching.